With every team having now played at least twice, we're starting to get a clearer idea of who's hot and who's not. Joining me once again to share their insights is Golf News Deputy Sports Editor Duncan Hare and our sports writer Abdul Rahman. So gentlemen, I think the first thing we need to discuss is the fact that the overall quality has been a bit lacking, especially from the de facto top teams. So with that in mind, who's impressed you most?
I think I'll go with Spain because their last performance in a major international tournament like the World Cup, in 2014 they went out from the group stage, and now that to see them with 4 goals in 2 games and having conceded any goals so far, it's quite impressive.
So which teams would you say have surprised you the most, for better or for worse?
I think the amount of surprises has been the most surprising thing. Iceland, Albania, Hungary, Northern Ireland, Wales, they've all done exceptionally well.
So guys, let's talk about the new format where the 4 best third place finishing teams move through to the last 16. Now there's a bit of a logistical issue here because we won't know who those top 4 teams are until Wednesday, giving the teams that have already qualified only a few days to get ready for the actual stage which begins on the Saturday. Is that a bit of a short-sighted mistake by UEFA? I mean, how do you guys see that?
I do. I think it's farcical, to be actually honest, that you don't know your opponent 3 days before the actual match is taking place. Quite honestly, you need a degree to work out who you're actually going to be facing, the amount of parameters, possibilities that you could actually get. I know this was used for World Cups in 80s, 90s, but it might just be that UEFA are looking to get a 32 team tournament.
To be honest, I would say whichever team they're going to face, they have to be ready anyway, because a tournament of this magnitude, you should expect anything.
So on Monday night, England take on Slovakia in Group B, and we've heard through the grapevine that Roy Hodgson will be making 6 changes to his starting 11, which includes leaving Wayne Rooney on the bench. Now, is that a stroke of genius or perhaps just outright stupidity? Tell me, guys, what do we think's happening here?
Massive gamble, admittedly, and making that many changes for a game that England still do need to actually qualify for. They do need something from it to cement a place in the next stage. But I think it could be a smart move, because I'm not at all convinced that England can play the system they're doing at present with that amount of forward players against the better teams and get away with it. I think they will be run over in midfield. So bringing in Henderson alongside Dyer, bringing in Wilshere, that little more protection is what England will definitely need. And having those players with tournament experience going into the knockout stages is, I think, a good move, as long, obviously, they do actually get the result against Slovakia.
Now, I want to very quickly talk about Portugal's clash with Hungary. Portugal have drawn 2 when really they should have won 2. The wheels seem to be coming off their campaign. What's going on there?
Cristiano Ronaldo,
Definitely Cristiano Ronaldo. Last time he faced this goal drought in World Cup 2010, for example. He ended up scoring a goal with the back of his head, and it was sort of depressing to see him in this kind of form. And he sort of gets nervous for a player of his quality. He gets nervous when he hears what is said about him in the media, and we've seen this in the last game they played, and he was desperate for a goal, and I think this what led to this depressing draw.
I think he's trying too hard, to be quite honest. 20 shots that he actually had against Austria the other night, obviously the penalty being the one that he missed, but I think Portugal rely far too much on him, and he is trying to play above himself rather than playing his natural match. Portugal really do lack a front man. Nani up front doesn't work. Nani's a wide man. I think Portugal could go out at the group stage, and even if they do make it in, I think any team will be rubbing their hands with glee at the prospect of getting Portugal. Perhaps the except of England, of course, and penalty kicks.
Well, let's hope it doesn't come to that.
Let's hope it does.
The last group stage match takes place on Wednesday before the round of 16 gets underway on Saturday. As ever, you can stay up to date with the latest news, fixtures and results on golfnews.com. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Golf News Sport, always using the hashtag Euro 2016.